Now we're going to simplify fractions involving factorials. So let's simplify this one, 9 factorial over 4 factorial. I will begin by expanding the numerator and then expanding the denominator. So here 9 factorial is the same thing as 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And expanding the denominator, which is 4 factorial. 4 factorial is 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Now I'm going to cancel the common terms. Whatever the numerator and the denominator have in common, I'm going to be able to cross out. So here I see that we can cross out the 4s, we can cross out the 3s, we can cross out the 2s, and we can cross out the 1s, leaving us with 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 for the numerator. In the denominator, everything got canceled out, so there's basically just a 1 there. And I can input these values in my calculator, and I get a total of 15,120. And dividing by 1 is not going to change the value of the expression, so I can leave it as just 15,120. And that's the simplification of 9 factorial over 4 factorial. Now, before I move on to part 2, I want to show you an alternative solution or alternative method for getting the solution of this problem. And that stems from analyzing what I crossed out here. Notice that here at the tail, I had 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. But this tail, I can rewrite it as 4 factorial. So if we wanted to expand, or if we wanted to simplify 9 factorial over 4 factorial, I would expand 9 factorial in this unique way. I would do it as 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 factorial. Instead of expanding all the way to 1, I'm going to stop here at 4, and notice that I still have the factorial where I ended. Now here, all of this is getting divided by this 4 factorial at the bottom, and now when I do my cancellation, I can cross out the 4 factorial from the denominator with the 1 from the numerator, and all that would be left is to input this in the calculator, which we already did, is 15,120. And for the denominator, since everything canceled out, I only have a 1, but then 15,120 divided by 1 is just itself. And that would be maybe a faster way of completing this problem. Let's move on to part 2 now. Now I have 2 ratios and I want to divide them. So I'm going to follow the keep, change, flip process. I'm going to keep my first term, which is 6 factorial over 11 factorial. I'm going to change the operation. Division changes to multiplication. And I'm going to flip this second ratio. So 8 factorial over 11 factorial is going to flip to 11 factorial over 8 factorial. Here we can do this method of crossing out the things that we have in common from the numerator and the denominator, meaning that we can cancel this 11 factorial. So now I'm going to have 6 factorial remaining for the numerator and 8 factorial remaining for the denominator. To simplify, I'm going to expand 6 factorial. Well, actually, I'm going to follow this little trick here just to reduce the amount of work that I have to do. In this scenario, I noticed that the value of the denominator is bigger than the value of the numerator. Hence, I'm going to expand a factorial first here. So I have 8 times 7 times 6, and I'm going to stop at 6, so that 6 carries that factorial, and I'm going to have 6 factorial on the numerator. The 6 factorials cancel out. Since everything canceled out on the numerator, I'm left with just a 1, and then 8 times 7 is 56. And that would be the value or the calculation for this expression right here. Now obviously if this trick is still maybe a little bit confusing, just do it the standard way, expand everything. So 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, and then 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, and cancel everything that the numerator and denominator have in common. So these ones get canceled out, and you get the same result, 1 over 56.